Alright, we're doing the scrap letter challenge. Solve Lenore's murder. The first scrap letter is here on this island over here. Choose this as a starting point. There's going to be a lot of water. We're going to have to go over a lot of water. And this is just going to be the longest challenge. These letters are spread out literally everywhere. But I think the route I took is pretty good. Now we're back on the mainland. The vehicle I'm using is the Cognoscenti Cabrio. This is Poppy Mitchell's car. I always pick yellow cars because I think that's like the top level every time you choose yellow. But actually my favorite color is green. In real life I only have red cars. For this one I'm also choosing Franklin. This is I think a Franklin challenge, as he's the one who gets the random event after you get all of them. This is a really long ride, so it's really just about taking care of the car, making sure nothing bad happens to it. And literally in every one you gotta get out and turn the car on again. I wish there was a way to do it. There are a couple of things you can do, but none of them I've really found to be too effective. Second letter is in that warehouse that you can buy over there. And now we're heading towards the train tunnels. There's just a lot of letters that are really tucked out of the way. Letter scraps, really. And everywhere there's water, everywhere there's a place you can die here. But I'm gonna make it all the way through. This one, every time you enter the area, that train will spawn, and for what I need to kind of beat it, but it'll be pretty easy unless something terrible happens. Now we're gonna shoot across to the tugboat, and the lighting in here is really kind of crazy. So I want to talk a little bit about Grand Theft Auto next game. I really hope they don't change it, the gameplay too much. This is a really popular game, and so far they've been able to do pretty good with it. It's actually, I think, the most valuable piece of entertainment in the world. I think it's grossed more than any movie or other game that exists. Jesus. But I would like to see, of course, I guess the kind of things that we haven't seen. It would be kind of cool to have some missions where like during protests and things like that. I know that basically the challenge with Rockstar is that they want to make everything modern, and basically by the time they get the game out it's like old news. But I think with tech the way it is today, I don't think it's too far-fetched to see more of a kind of Assassin's Creed where you there's crowds and you have to do some missions in crowds and stuff. That would be kind of cool. Alright, so the previous one was on top of the container ship. This one is in front of this tugboat. And so the way to get the car to stay on is at least I find that you kind of have to shoot a gun right before you get in. But there's kind of no way to carry that out to the next one for some reason. I found it impossible. I can do it like once to start off the run, but that's about it. And of course, another way is if you have 2 stars or more, the car will stay on. When I first tried this, I kind of just shot everywhere, hoping to attract the police, but that really didn't work after a while. I just found that actually the peds stopped spawning at all. Next one is here behind CJ's house. And with the convertible you can get the cool jump in animation, but it really doesn't matter. So yeah, another one is like the collectibles challenges. It would be kind of cool, and this scrap here is in front of this department store, this big box store. Now we're gonna go to the airport. So it would be kind of cool, and I don't know which game I've seen this before. I think it's like I know that Metal Gear Solid had kind of that little bit where you're collectible. You're kind of building something like a large object. It would be kind of cool. Like here, we got the letters, and the idea is we're kind of piecing it together. Of course, it doesn't make sense if different characters have different pieces, and they never really get together to talk about it. But I'm thinking like that, like, you know, we have the spaceship parts and all that, but to kind of see it kind of being built little by little would be kind of cool. This car needs to be removed because I cannot complete the jump. And this jump is super hard, and I didn't make it. And you know, this vehicle could crush the wheels pretty easy, so just gotta take it easy. So far so good, it's not too bad, but that hit is already starting to squeeze my back end here. And of course, like I always say, the front is the most important, because that's where you're gonna hit most things. So another thing they could do also is missions where you're kind of hacking the city And I actually never played Watch Dogs, so I don't know if that's like a thing. But I don't want to like steal anybody else's idea, but it would be kind of cool. And something we really haven't seen before is like changing traffic lights. And I know they've had like mini games, and I think in this game too they kind of have that. But it'd be better to have it as just something like a tool that we can access.
Let's go.
Well, got the cops here. Gotta be worried about getting lit up. See, the car staying on doesn't count unless you get 2 stars and they're active. So it really never happens. I'm only gonna get stars about 1 place here, and I should be pretty good to go. See, my front is getting a little bit battered. These early parts, I think I got about 11 letters so far.
Yeah, only inches.
And I kind of hope, another thing that I'd like to see is like a super large battle royale, and I just think that this is the one game kind of designed to have a ridiculously large battle royale. I think you can hold about, I don't know, at least 400 players, and it really wouldn't be too crowded. The thing about battle royales that I don't like is and I've really only played like a little bit of Fortnite and Call of Duty, so maybe in PUBG I think it's a little slower pace, but I like the slower pace ones where there's a little bit more crafting involved, a little bit more strategy. So that to me would be kind of cool. If they have Battle Royale, to have a lot fewer weapons, more variety, and less ammo. So things like when you kill somebody, whether or not you pick up their body and get ammo from them is a lot more critical.
Look out the way. Open your damn eyes.
And also kind of have the vehicles be kind of random. That would be kind of cool. And of course the idea behind these letters is that it's a confession letter of the murder of Lenore Johnson, and he, I guess, was flying around the city in a helicopter or probably a plane, and he ripped up the letter and it landed everywhere. But the locations of these letters make absolutely no sense, unless he purposely sprinkled it around. There's a lot of places where it doesn't make sense that it kind of fell. There we got our 13th letter. And these are the only stars we're going to get. They're not too bad, and from the cops' perspective, I probably won't be getting shot at all. Now we're going to head over to the cemetery and get another letter on the island. Of course, coming over water, because there's water everywhere on this route.
That's dumb luck right there.
And now we're going to go to but I'm saying Bobby, it's not like this. It's a little resort area here. I think there's a mission where you snipe somebody. And right to the back, where the pool area is, you get that letter.
I cute shit. If this was 88, I would've signed a ruthless 9-4. Would've had them walking down death row. Versus when the best go. Hate is what the rest do. Voice inside my head told me what them if they test you. So it's raging water season. That young big as Larry Johnson. Southern California, yeah, always pass and tell them free small, long home with the heat, all strapped up, long as the chief of police, armed, raised where the beast armed, north of the beach, a couple streets past, Baby J, bony niggas spraying K's, Ruger with the pork face, Jewish for the court case, here to save you niggas from the sorbet, whole chain.
Like it's nothing, cause it's nothing big.
You know, one of the mini games that they have in here that would be a cool inspiration for the next GTA is the mini the side character where it kind of gives you marijuana and everybody gets high except Franklin. I kind of like the idea of having a zombie mini game. I know that everybody's tired of zombie games, but not me. I really haven't played them, so and I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and it would be kind of cool. And there's a reason why zombies is always the easy way out. It is because the programming is super easy of a zombie, and I think it allows for a lot more predictable gameplay, and you know, to design a good game, a good little game within a game. But it would be kind of cool if they kind of had the character, you know, have dreams or things like that, like nightmares, and kind of have the city turn to zombie mode. That would be kind of cool. course, not have it affect like the actual real game. But I really prefer the realism. But I think that they could spend a lot of time on that and get the zombie mode really right. Make it actual survival, not like a Daisy kind of zombie mode, but more like a classic Resident Evil tight scenario zombie mode. And we get one here at this trailhead as we're heading into the north part of the map. We are not really done with Los Santos yet, but we'll come back later and get some of the missing ones. This routing is really kind of spread out, but it is the best way to kind of get them all without backtracking. I think you'll see that here we won't really backtrack anymore. And of course we have to get now over these puddles without drowning the car, and this car is kind of hard to drown. It's not the hardest to drown, but I definitely think having the game kind of span multiple cities is kind of cool. I really hope that they don't put that much. And I know a lot of people are clamoring for seasons and snow, and I just think that I'm not a game creator. I'm not sure how easy it is, but I think it's hard enough to get everything to look right, and to kind of have to do that twice, and have it be adaptable for different seasons. I think it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna detract from our content.
Tracks by the pioneers. You know your boy DJ Bruno. You know.
But one of the things, so they're talking about going back to Vice City. I'm not sure if that's exactly what's going to happen, but it would be kind of cool. One thing we haven't had is a space station, a launch site. That would be super awesome, and something that I haven't seen before. I don't play GTA Online. I think there's some sort of missile silo. These guys here, I really try hard not to kill them. They're just in the way. Yeah, so it would be kind of cool to have like a Cape Canaveral kind of site where like they launch something and you have to like sneak onto it and steal the spaceship, and it would just be kind of so cool to have that little mini mission. I feel like that comes, a lot of this stuff, GTA is inspired heavily by the movie, so having that reminds me a lot of Spider-Man. another movie that they could do on part of the plot lines could be, and since they're doing what this more of a group kind of thing, is, you know, to stop. And one thing we really haven't seen is a group stopping like one bad guy, where it's really more of a second player game. You know, it could be a serial killer, it could be a mob boss, it could be a politician, but to have the game revolve around somebody else, I think is a lot better, because it allows you, you know, to be kind of like the normal guy, you know, and you could swap out, and it makes the story make more sense, instead of like 3 incredibly eccentric people. You know, have one eccentric guy, and, you know, a group of people could be more than that to try to stop him.
Can't you hear me coming?
And of course, you know, he's gonna be successful sometimes, and for some reason when they get together, it's like a bad movie, but I think it could make for a pretty good storyline. Here we go, up here in this tower. The first of many, many staircases that I'm going to have to climb during this run. And now we got to get off this mountain without completely crushing this car. Which is all in all still in pretty good shape. Looks like I'm gonna have a little bit of tire rub on the front left real soon, if I don't have it already.
What's you crossing for, man?
Now we're gonna get the letter on top of Mount Chiliad. Instead of climbing it, we're going to use a cable car. And your car won't disappear, and the best way to do it is, as soon as you enter the area, go right for the cable car, and there will be one waiting.
This is Channel X, and we're bringing you some stuff that you would not
There
normally
he is.
hear on the other radio stations.
Make sure you got at least $20. And get up and come back. This area, there's always a cat that spawns, and usually he's carried away, but I try to get real quick about it. And don't want him to take it a swipe at me. And of course, I walk right past him. $22 scraps. About halfway there. And we're going to reach the halfway point at the top part of the map, and then we'll start working our way back to get the other 25 going south. And we're going to interact with this random event because I leave no stone unturned. Alright, get that bag. Where's the suitcase at? Suitcase. Oh, I'm out of here. I ain't messing this up. Oh, I'm just so lucky he keeps missing. And the bag's right there.
Watch out, fool!
Can I swing back and get it? Let's see. And the bag is gone. Give me a break. How is that possible? They totally messed up that for me. Now we're going to this house, second floor. See if we can get there in one jump.
Keep that toilet cleaner in the toilet, Bubbles. Spaceman here. Bootsy, that is. Right here telling you.
The next scrap letter is in the back porch of an abandoned house. And we got cops again, which is on. Oh, we did get cops again. You didn't see me. We're already having a long start, and it's gonna be a long day, guys.
Start, you piece of crap.
And so now we're gonna go to this outhouse. I think it's the boys' room. I feel like it's men's rooms on both sides. I just feel like that's a Rockstar joke. Why? Because women's bathrooms are always on the left, and that's a men's bathroom on the left. That's really weird. Now we go to this separate zone, communist community, the commune. And we will start. Well, we already actually started heading our way down, right? Now we're gonna continue on using the train track. Staying off the road. It's always best to avoid accidents.
We all love authority. Isn't it time you became an authority figure? Have you always wanted to get paid to stand around and yell at minorities and rapists? The West Coast leads the country in correctional facilities. Locking away half the population means a career opportunity for you. Become a correctional officer. Priors, no problem. We think highly of people who've been involved in violent altercations in the workplace. Here it helps. And once you join the correctional officers union, you can't get fired even if you're using drugs to sell to inmates. Be part of the one team that's definitely winning the war on crime. PIC. Join the prison industrial complex today. Bringing the antimatter to your S-droid.
Another thing would be kind of cool is to have a homeless character. We've never had a homeless character in the game, I think. And it would be kind of cool to have, you know, just a variety of main characters. Of course, if the game is big enough, I think it can hold it. Like, you know, people don't like to be so divided where it feels like there's no identity or no story, but if the game is long enough, each person can have a well filled out story. So it would be kind of cool. Of course, they wouldn't be homeless forever, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. But to get that kind of perspective, you know, she said the gardener fell off the cliff, but I actually never found the body. I guess they recovered it. This is booty call you can find and take her back to her home. That's where she lives. She's got a real nice place. And now we're gonna head over to the farming area. The car's pretty beat up. I usually go over the mountain here, but I really can't take that much more abuse in this car. And it is morning already. Of course, who can forget the mission where CJ set the marijuana field ablaze? That was pretty awesome. I think one of the Kiflon missions is around here, where he kind of walks through the farmland trying to find these artifacts or something like that.
Construction has begun on the Canada to Los Santos pipeline.
New development in the I-5 streetcar scam.
Canada.
So another mini game that they could add and that would be kind of cool is fishing,
So construction has begun.
and they really haven't done that anywhere else pretty good. And fishing is a really cool mini game just because it's kind of easy, I think, from a programmer's perspective. Of course, real fishing takes a really long time, a lot of patience, but in the game world it could be sped up a little bit. But it'd be kind of cool to have one of the guys be like an avid fisherman, and he starts off fishing off the dock, he makes some money, turns into the Bubblegum Shrimp Corporation, moves on to whaling. And then you get actual piracy. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, if they're going to take place on islands, I think it only makes sense to have boats be a bigger part of the game. And they should also have one of the guys be a cop. That would be kind of cool too, to kind of see it from that side. Not like a crooked cop. I'm talking about like a good cop. Get off this rock. I'm stuck. Where are you, Tushy? Now just driving a little bit out of here so I don't trigger this random event. Make our way to the construction site. And there's a scrap in the middle of one of these circle things. Now we're gonna make our way to say one of Maud's most wanted escapee who's hiding around here somewhere. I'm gonna go right behind this sign. There'll be a scrap letter here. More go, and it's going to be also large. Feels like the time between each letter is increasing. Let's go here on the left to repeat another random event. I'm really trying to get to that big tower in the background there. And somehow doing some stuff. So I feel like they nailed it in terms of talking about religious cults, but they didn't go for us far enough, and it would be so cool to see them expand on it. To have the religious cults be a lot more active, and you know, trying to stop them from committing acts of terrorism and things like that. I don't know, I just think that, like, take Children of the Mountain and things like that, they really did stay in the background. And it was just treated more as an oddity with, you know, Kiflam and all that. Although I love Kiflam, I really do. Now we're gonna go to the church. And in the cemetery of the church, there will be a letter.
We're holding on to the dream. That dream is luxury, and a gas-guzzling luxury car created in a nation that's 95% condemned. We haven't forgotten what America wants. A car that's massively overpowered, has fold-down seats for BJ's on the way home from work, cruise control so you can text while driving back from the...
underneath the second bridge on this road. And there'll be a letter between the rocks. Trying to go to the side here. So, kind of one thing that they've never done in really, I think just about any game. Well, that's not true. But they don't have board games, and it would be so cool, you know, to hang out with someone and, you know, play whatever custom board game they have. Of course, we got tennis and we got bigger things, but it would be really cool if they come up with a board game. No one else. Now we're gonna do this mine shaft. This could also be the first or last, you know, in terms of somebody could think it's relevant to the storyline. See her body's in there somewhere. Or is it the ghost? I don't know. I know there's another storyline that I think unlocks the door. You can get to go behind. Now we're gonna really long sludge, and the rain is not gonna help at all. I'm gonna try and reach I call it the ball, on top of the mountain. But with this car and its beat up condition, the only way is going to be over the ridge. And the car is super beat up, but we're going to give it a really, really good try here. Working our way back. We gotta make it up all that mountain there. So the key to mountain climbing is just stay on the ridge as much as possible. We did it pretty good. Juice stand. That's what it is. It's a juice stand on top of this trail. We got 11 letters to go.
Saving money for it when you can spend it. There's nothing more American, more successful, more masculine than a big roll of cash to wave around. It says well endowed. It says sophisticated. It says pragmatic. When you throw a wad of hundreds down, you owe everyone in the room. And that's a fact. In this country, cash is king. So borrow some today. There's probably still some liquidity in your home. Are you insane? Get that out of there now. Spend it on a fancy tablet or mobile phone or something else that will.
So getting back to the battle royale, and a lot of people hate snipers, but I really feel it doesn't detract from the game. I mean, I just think it makes everything more tense. I think everything, a lot of games, be Battlefield, Call of Duty, they try to penalize sniping because a lot of people see sniping as just an easy way out. No skill, whatever. But I just feel that, if you're the guy getting sniped out, it doesn't really ruin the game. I mean, it just changes the tactics, and that's all. So yeah, I mean, with a lot of players, and if you know, some player has a high caliber weapon, yeah, you gotta kind of keep your toes out. I just never felt like I've had to brag about it. I think my biggest pet peeve is bullet sponges. You know, guys who, you know, they got power up or whatever, and you literally drill them with everything you got. Like, you got the hop on him, but because you didn't empty your tire clip on him, he turns around and kills you. That's just ridiculous. This jump was unnecessary. Ooh, that's a hard. Finally, really getting beat down. They're actually still moving here. Oh, I should be heading west. I gotta be heading south. Let's go, let's go. We're past Michael's place. And I really should have been heading on this street, but didn't happen. Kept on headquarters. We're back in the city. We're gonna be going behind this condominium. In the back, there's a little grill area, and we'll pick up our letter scrap there. So yeah, so I guess besides the zombie nightmare, it would also be kind of cool to have, you know, all those things that basically everybody hacks and fills up the city with water, empties the water, you know, to have those weather effects, but without ruining the canon of the game. That I've always felt is kind of a balance that Rockstar tries to make some things fun, but I kind of feel like, you know, like, are there aliens? You know, now with GTA Online with flying cars and all kinds of crazy stuff. I just think it's, I really hope that GTA Online doesn't become canon for the game. Because, I mean, I haven't played it, but I've heard, like, they try to, you know, stop nuclear things from going on. There's just a lot of things, you know, flying jetpacks everywhere. There's some things that don't make no sense. Although I did hear, of course, the 80s theme game. Obviously, if you look at the car roster, they basically have their 80s all set up. I think they've been trying out a lot of cars. How did that brick get over my car? That made no sense. Strawberry time. And no hits. Golden sombrero. This is just not a time time to trash his car.
You an asshole, right?
Alright, time for the super long climb. And there's just no other way to get this shortcut, not that I know of. There's of course some sort of hack that lets you springboard these ladders, but I've never tried it and I ain't gonna do it now. The next ladder scrap is all the way on top of this tower. And it's a lot of climbing. So I think another kind of cool mission idea is to have, like, in the beginning of the game, you'll have like a setup mission where during the construction phase you know, install some sort of exploit. You know, I don't know, it could be a safe, it could be a casino, it could be a political building or something. But you're just a regular contractor and you install that exploit, and then later on, once it's built, you take advantage of it. I think that's so cool and so realistic too. I've always had a dream of being an insider, and that would totally fulfill my dream. And the sun is waning down. Another cool mission idea would be a wannabe superhero theme where, again, an NPC. I always like the idea of this second. Oh wait, here you die. Watch it. Almost. Alright, let's get down here.
I'm calling Weasel News.
Yeah, a wannabe NPC is kind of like a Batman kind of guy.
That is fucked.
A wannabe Batman. and you have to like uncover his true identity and visit him in his house. That'd be kind of cool.
Start, you piece of crap.
I feel like that storyline was done already a little bit, but not on any serious level. Now we're gonna start heading west. I said for going south. And we're gonna creep back up to this other side of the map where I kind of started at. 5 scrap letters to go, and they're pretty far from each other now. The next one we're going to the racetrack area. The horse racetrack. Now we're going to the tunnel. It's safer. Actually, that's not true. Coming over here because there's one in the reservoir at the end of this waterway. LA has these giant water features, but isn't it like one of the driest places? Like, it just seems like a complete waste. I mean, they put so much into water control, which is great, but you know, they don't take care of their forest. You gotta do a little bit of forest management. You know, I come from Puerto Rico. We actually burned down like half our mountains. Not half, but in the dry places on the island, we burned down, you know, half of mountains to, you know, stop fires from propagating, because it gets super dry and then you'll get a big fire. And to stop that from happening, you have to kind of light the fire yourself while it's controllable, and you know, then put it out. And that takes some of the fuel away. That's one thing I don't think they're doing up there. Of course, it's a lot harder when you're talking about vast wilderness areas, but I just feel like every summer it's a bad fire season and these guys are just not getting it. Three scrap letters to go. I feel like I'm almost done, but I know I'm not. Because the next scrap is up on the Hollywood sign, Vinewood sign. And the last time I made it this far, I died there. So and plus this car is getting completely drilled. Let's see if I can shoot up this mountainside.
Hey, you got all
Let's
lucky,
take the
Mo.
shortcut.
It's kill or be killed in the great warfare in your home. Of all the
Oh, I'm just not him.
Mr. Spot, ordinary cleaners leave
We'll go a
stains
long
to
way.
the germs in life behind. I don't. I kill everything. I clean and disinfect the toughest stains and kill 99.9% of germs and living tissue. I can cleanse a crime scene or strip a baby to the bone in less than an hour. Mr. Spot destroys away wine stains, dirt, mud, death, cat
the eye. And this is the eye. Now we should be able to climb up there. Now, last time I died getting down, he didn't grab the escalator, he just literally fell off. There we go. Alright, now the last two are all the way to the west. Let's see what's the fastest way. Let's make it down here without crushing the car entirely. It'd just be terrible to lose a car right here.
Oh, shit.
The roof of the car is actually coming out the back.
My goodness, if we don't do a commercial soon, they're gonna turn the lights out.
The car is completely crushed. Alright, here we go. Another long swimming section.
Travel like a real man again. Drunk and waited on by
More
depressed
and
women
more
at
water.
35,000 feet. Fly.
It is faster to swim underneath the water than it is to swim on top. Where's that letter scrap? Should say, whoa, one to go. And the last letter scrap is inside the cave, just north of here. Let's see, I'm kind of aiming to where the car is at. I gotta figure out how to get up there though. Looks pretty steep. Even though the car is crushed, I think I'll be able to make it. And at this point, even if it gets completely crushed, I am not trying to get. I could just dive into the bay, but I want to save this workhorse. It took me this far. Got a lot of miles on it. Poppy Mitchell's car. And there we go. Final time, 12:39. So who was the killer? Dreyfus. Let's find that fool.